In the second part of our interview with South African hard enduro rider Kirsten Landman, we found out how she faced her fears after a life-threatening accident, and how setting her sights on the 2020 Dakar Rally is so much more than just about racing.
So after my year of recovery, the rest of 2013, I sat the year out and just got my strength back, built up my confidence. I started riding again, but there was no more racing. 2014, I had my first shot at an extreme enduro, world extreme enduro. I went to Romaniacs and I entered the bronze class, and I got my first real taste of proper hard enduro, and I fell in love. And ever since then, we're now 4 or 5 years later. I've done Romaniacs 5 times. I became the first female to finish the expert class. Then I've done Sea to Sky 3 times. I became the first female to finish the gold class. I've done Roof of Africa 6 times. I finished silver, I finished bronze, and I became the first female to finish gold, and I've got 3 gold finishes now. I've done Red Bull Megawatt, placing in the top 30 out of 1,000 riders. And I've raced in the World Extreme Super Enduro Series, which is just against the females, and I placed 4th there, which is something very different for me, but a cool experience. I've raced Red Bull Braveman in Namibia, becoming the first female to finish the silver class as well. And I got asked a lot of questions after I had all these accomplishments, where people said, "Kirst, you've kind of reached the pinnacle of your career in the World Extreme Enduros. What's next? What do you want to do now?" And then a very big mentor in my life, Joey Evans, got back from the Dakar Rally in 2017. He had just finished the Dakar, and he was like, "Kirst, if there's something you got to do, you got to do the Dakar Rally. If there's anyone that can do it, it's you." "No, but I'm scared about my accident and blah blah." And he's kind of like laughed at me, because Joey learned to walk again from being paralyzed, and from that he went and rode a motorbike and finished the Dakar Rally, where he had everything against him. And he kept bringing it up with me, and then he planted a seed. And just before the end of 2017, I spoke to my boss at Francisca at KTM, and I was like, "I want to do the Dakar." And she's like, "If you want to do the Dakar, you're going to have to get back into off-road racing," because obviously she's seen me grow and she saw me have my accident, and she knows how much I hate the fast stuff. And then I spoke to my family about it, and they hated the idea, but it was to overcome a fear, because everything between then and now has been overcoming my fear. I knew I would have to get back into off-road racing, and I hadn't raced an off-road race since my accident. Botswana Desert 1000 in 2013 was my last off-road race, and I swore to never go back into it, and I swore never to go back to Botswana to go race again. But 2018, I went back in, around about the same time that I had my accident. And I went there and I raced 2 days, and I finished the race. I got my finisher's medal, which is one of my medals that hang on with all my best, my Romaniacs and my roofs and stuff. So that for me was huge. It was emotional, it was terrifying, it was everything I thought it would be and more. But to have crossed that finish line safely, finally 5 years later, it was like the weight of the world had been lifted off my shoulders. And ever since then I've been racing all the off-roads, and surprisingly doing pretty well. So the fear of speed will always be there, when I race, but it's got a lot better. I think myself I'm a more experienced rider. So in August 2018, I made my official announcement that I'll be competing in the Dakar Rally 2020. Maybe I can become, also at the same time as conquering the biggest fear of my life, but I can become the first African female to finish the Dakar Rally. And it's just another bit more motivation. So it's exciting, it's scary, it's a history behind everything, and it makes me more motivated to do it, to go there, to finish, and to come home with my finisher's medal. This is a big journey. It's very exciting, and it's something I believe where my path was meant to be, because this has not just been an overnight decision. This has been years of preparation and hard work and training, and getting over those mental blocks and stuff. So it's all very exciting, but I think I'm ready.
To keep up with Kirsten and more on the power tools that won't quit, follow Ryobi Africa on social media.